Hey everybody, Mark Agnesi here for Gibson TV. And today, we're in the neighborhood of Los Angeles, California with producer John Shanks. Now John's got over 60 million albums sold worldwide, 45 #1 hits. He's even won the Grammy for Producer of the Year. And you better bet, with career stats like that, comes an epic guitar collection. What you are about to see may shock you. This is The Collection with John Shanks.
Well, Gibson's own.
Thanks. What's up, dude?
What's up, my brother?
Look at this place, man.
Thank you. Come, enjoy. Welcome.
We got some guitars to look at?
We have a lot of guitars to look
dude,
at.
I can't
So
wait.
come on, let's do it. All right, so let me show you this room. This is a very special room.
This closet?
It's a closet, but
Yeah.
is it a closet? Is it a closet, Mark?
Dude, is this something?
Or maybe it's the guitar cell. So come on in here. A lot of cool stuff in here.
Freaking Pelham Blue.
Pelham Blues.
Pelham Blue Trini?
Pelham Blue Trini. We got a black ES355 custom. It was Johnny Marr's guitar. I just love that guitar. And lots of Les Pauls in here, lots of deluxes, you know. It was a wine cellar that I converted into a guitar cellar room.
What goes in this room? Because I know you've got stuff kind of spread through studios and stuff. Is this like the home collection, the stuff you need close by?
I mean, obviously there's safes here that some of the super vintage-y stuff is in.
Yeah.
And then stuff that I love and collect, and sometimes I just want to keep them closer. Yeah, I just like them nearby.
I keep losing focus because of this right behind me. That's a factory black ES355, isn't it?
Yeah, so this was Johnny Marr's from the Smiths, and have the original pickups that were in it. He put at some point, because of the Smiths, he can split the pickups. Yeah, so it came this way. It's interesting because these are nickel parts. I have another one here that was a 60 that you'll see as gold parts.
Is it like a one of one or something, or one
yeah,
of a couple?
The 60 is one of one. And I have the book, and I can't find the book where it has the ledger. I think we were going to try, and I think Cesar, we were going to try and find the ledger again. So it's pretty rare. The Trini is
okay.
That's a good example.
That's another. Can we?
Sure, grab that.
When I see a few Pelham Blue guitars in here, when did you get hip to?
I think, you know, when you start getting into guitars, you know, you start going, okay, so, you know, there's the Fender car culture, and then this was part of that, where they would take these great car colors, and it's really clean. The story behind this is actually crazy, because this is, you know, early days of eBay, and I saved it as a search.
Yeah.
Somehow I got a notification, and I clicked on it, and it had been listed like a minute, you know, just like, and so I somehow reached out to the gentleman. I didn't believe it was, because it was so clean.
That it was real, yeah.
And then he started sending me pictures of him playing in the band. So he plays every Monday night in the same club. So even when I bought the guitar, in the case was pictures of him in the 60s playing it with the same gal. And then, you know, like a contemporary picture of the same gal in the same band. Wow. And then the sweetest thing is then he wrote me this letter telling me what he did with the money. It was so amazing that he gave each of his kids money, and he went out and he bought himself like a great custom shop Les Paul. Yeah, Pelham Sg.
This is what, 65, 66?
65.
Still wide.
Still wide. That's an amazing guitar. Nylon saddles, nickel parts. This is a great guitar. I mean, I use that a lot.
Do you take this stuff out, or is it
Yeah,
just...
I take this out. This was, these are great TV guitars too. So I used this on, when we did Ellen DeGeneres a couple years ago, and I played it on Ellen. And but I know when I'm testing amps or pedals, and I know this guitar, I know what it sounds like, and sonically, it just is just a beautiful guitar. This is a cool one. This is
I've never seen a 12 before.
Yeah, it's a 12 string.
Melody Maker SG.
Pelham blue.
Pelham blue. And
but
man,
really
clean.
blue.
That's blue. This didn't get any fade on it yet.
Right.
Greened out.
I mean, whoever had this just, has not really played it live. So it wasn't out in the sun a lot. It wasn't in a window. So the blue is seriously blue. 12-string and very inexpensive. I think $1,200.
Yeah, it's the Pelham Blue gateway drug right there.
That's
your way to test
that's
the waters.
the taste.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other Gibsons in here are like a 80s Explorer or 79, 70s Explorer, like a Carlton 68.
What
neck? The neck, it's like a baseball.
What is the deal with these things?
When
did you?
I found
nobody really cared about these for a long time.
I found this in the early 2000s. It was one of those. My studio was right near Guitar Center, and this is when
That's dangerous.
lo and behold, just on the wall was this guitar, and they have to get a ladder and bring it down. I put my hand on the neck and I plugged it in. And I was like,
done. Oh, the Bicentennial Firebird.
Yeah, those are great.
And it's a clean guard. Sometimes that guard gets off.
76.
Yeah. Petty had one of these that he always
But these are the pickups. This is, I don't know if it's known. From what I've heard, this is what Neil Young has in his old black.
Yeah.
Is this year, this pickup. So it's not an old 60s Firebird pickup. It's actually from out of this era. But it's a great recording guitar. I mean, those pickups are magical.
Wow. So, and this is a favorite of mine too, and I just gotta, because I'm a Keith guy. This is just like
with the humbucker.
With the humbucker pickup in the back.
See, the great thing about these, you can slide these pickups out, and you could buy the set.
Undo the thing in the back and pop it out.
So I liked it. When I found this, it actually had the humbucker, which I actually really liked, because I didn't have to worry about the 60-cycle hum. And so this is a conversion. This is really amazing. So this is like kind of this was a 53, but just old wood. That's a great guitar too, because it's some people frown at these, but I have no trouble taking this out and playing.
Play it, yeah.
Yeah, it's a tool. It's a shovel. We should go in the safe and take a closer look at what I got in there.
Can we bring them out to
absolutely
get a good look?
Let's do that. There.
Oh, brown cases.
Brown cases.
Brown cases.
And the smell. And that smell,
dude. All right.
So we can start going through what's in here.
Yeah, let's pull some out and
let's do it.
All right, man. It's time for brown cases. I'm very excited.
Can I? Open it up.
This guy up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that's a 59.
This is man, it's got some color on it still too. Tell me about this thing.
This was found in Germany. Drew Berlin actually found this for me. Called me from Germany and he said, "I think I found your guitar." I said I didn't really care if it had issues. Meaning that a refret, because I knew to really use it all the time, I would probably have to refret it, and ended up going for it.
When was this? How long ago did
this? Was probably 2003, 2004.
So you've been in the burst game now for a little bit. How many different ones have you had come through your possession since you started doing it? Have you sold some, bought some, sold some kind of thing?
Yeah, I've always kept this one. There's 3 that I ended up keeping. There was a couple others that I had that I sold. The guitar, when I played it, I was like, oh man, this is thing. There's songs in here. I just knew right away. So I've used this a lot. I'm on a lot of records, and I love it.
Brown cases keep coming here. Let's see.
Let's do it.
That's got all the color still, man.
That's a 60, but it's a it's a 60 with 59 appointments.
Is this the one that your collector's choice was
right,
based
so this
on?
was collector's choice number 7. You can see the back. So it's, has some wear here, and
Grovers.
This was, supposedly this was Mick Mars's guitars.
Nice.
You can, feel the neck. It's definitely a chunkier neck.
Yeah, so this would be what we call version 1 of the 60. The 3 different kind of neck.
Right, with a little of the red or burgundy, if you want to call it.
And still the
that.
59 bell knobs on it instead of the reflectors.
Right,
yeah,
again,
really early.
An amazing, amazing instrument. I mean, you can tell this is just a handmade guitar. You can feel the love in this, and these pickups are beautifully balanced. And
how long have you had this one?
I've had this probably since 2006.
What's it feel like to amp up a real burst in Madison Square Garden or something?
It's amazing.
Does that really add to the vibe of the show that night when you know?
It does. Richie brought his 59 out.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when he would do it, and so yeah, I'll bring this on the road this year. Amazing, beautiful guitar. So.
Oh, damn, that's clean.
Yeah, so that's a 58.
It's dark back. All the 58s I've ever seen are dark backs. I don't know if that's just a 58 thing or,
but you can feel this
one.
Pretty light. This might be the best sounding Les Paul I own.
All the gold tops tend to be my favorite sounding guitars, even more than bursts. I know that's sacrilege to say, but the gold tops are.
First off, the gold is just stunning, and
it's really clean.
It's really
played,
clean.
But that's a clean.
It's been played, but the tone on this is just beautiful, beautiful guitar. And so 57's, Al Nico 2, this is right at the transition. So this is the beginning of 58, and then obviously in the middle of, where it started, the transition. So this is probably the first half of, I think this is even late.
This is a few serial numbers away from being a burst.
Right, so this is 3138, so 83138. So I guess, we could have definitely had some,
two
guitars later, or 5 could have been a sunburst.
Sunburst, yeah.
So, but you can feel it. It's not super light, but it's probably 8 pounds 5 ounces.
And just frets on this thing.
Perfect. Yeah, it's just perfect.
Oh man.
The PAFs are amazing on this guitar. Thing about these guitars, when you roll the volume back, they really clean up.
Yeah.
So that's really what I love about them. They're very musical pickups. But I love that guitar. So that's one of my favorite guitars for sure.
Killer.
So, okay, let's keep going.
More to see.
All right, so this guitar.
Brown case, different shape.
Brown case, slightly larger shape, 1 of 1. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm intrigued. Oh, shut up.
So that's a mono ES355 black from 1960.
That is sick.
So this is, you can see all gold.
I could sell 12 of these tomorrow. If you could make 12 of them appear, they would all be gone. This is a guitar that every guitar collector longs for. These are and this is one of one that they did in 1960. Where did it come from? How did you find it?
This was a fluke. This was where I think I'd saved it on a search on G-Base and on eBay, and it was like a dream. I think
you set the alert up that if it popped something you would
get. And at first when I think I was in a session when it happened, and in between writing the starting to write the second verse, and there was a lot of chaos in the room, and I was programming synths, and all of a sudden I'm like, huh. And everyone's like, come on, we gotta do this, and we're saying it's totally frank, and I'm I can't. I'm doing this as the session is going on, and I'm reading, and I keep reading it, and someone's yelling at me, and I'm like, I go, hold on, and I make the call.
For those people who don't know, the significance being not only the color, that it's a custom color, but the factory mono part about it, because normally a ES355 would have a Veritone control and a stereo output.
Correct.
When it's mono, now it's basically just like a 335.
Which we have over there. There's a 60 345.
Yeah, we'll get to that one too in a second.
But
man,
there's something about those guitars that I just love. A 68 custom with a 50-watt plexi, and you're good to go. I mean, when you look at the ledger, I believe this is the only one from 60. So I just kind of, I play it if I know I'm doing guitar overdubs and it's just me and my engineer and I'm doing stuff. So yeah. Awesome guitar.
Killer.
So,
Unbelievable.
Cool. Let's keep going.
I have not seen this
Okay,
guitar.
so open this case.
Oh, boy.
It's kind of crazy.
What is that?
So that is a 1967 custom ordered Les
Tail.
Paul Standard with a wraparound and P90s.
What? In black?
In black.
In,
So one of one.
where the hell did you find this?
So this was,
oh my God.
this is, always when, you're reading Norm's books. And, like, oh, you hear the story of guys in parking lots, and this was a parking lot thing.
Deal.
So I was leaving Costa Mesa.
Yeah. Guitar show.
The guitar show in Costa Mesa. And I saw this guy with a case, and I just was like, what's in the case? And he goes, oh, it's this crazy, and he started talking about the guitar, and he pulls it out, and I'm looking at the serial numbers, and we worked out a deal. I mean, it's clean, except this is wear. It's just not
played. Yeah.
It's been played, and
it's rad, is what it is. It's just very
so,
cool.
I mean, silver tops, wraparound, P90s, black, but it's a Les Paul.
Rosewood board,
and it's
single
not
binding.
ebony.
Yeah, single bind. Yeah, single ply.
So it's rosewood. It's not ebony. So.
And then the wrap tail throws me for a total loop too, because that's. Tunematic. It's just crazy that it's still out there. This weird stuff.
Right.
Like
an anomaly. So it's obviously somebody custom ordered this, played it, but not overplayed it, and still retains the. I mean, even the back. I mean, it's really clean. So if you see the headstock is, I mean, it's a. I mean,
no volute, no.
There's no volute. It's narrow. Mm. It's a one-piece neck. It's just such an interesting thing. The fact that technically Gibson didn't start making Les Pauls until '68. So that this is dated '67 is super rare. I mean, I don't know. I can't.
Well, I mean, it's a tunematic away, and a gold top paint from being a 60. Yeah, I wonder if it's like a prototype where they started to,
It's not heavy.
Yeah.
So really interesting guitar.
So cool.
All right, cool. Let's keep going.
Dude. Something special in here?
Yeah, something very special is in there.
Oh, wow.
So that's a Zamitis.
Etched top?
Etched top.
Whose name is that on there?
James Honeyman Scott. This I purchased from Peggy Sue Honeyman Scott, who was married to James, and this was his main guitar. And I'm a big fan of James's playing. So everyone was trying to undercut her and kind of take advantage of her slightly. And I said, listen, you don't know me, but let me help you. I'm a fan of your husband's, and let me help you sell these guitars. And finally, she had a buyer in Japan, and she came to the studio personally to pick it up. And then we were talking about it, and I said, what is he offering you? And she told me the price, and I just said, listen, is there any wiggle room? Is there any? And she said, well, I feel comfortable. How about this? And I said, okay, fine. And she burst into tears, and I understand why, because it was the last thing from her husband that she loved so much, and she wrote me this beautiful letter and gave me a couple of his cowboy shirts and some T-shirts, and it's an exquisite guitar. It's an amazing guitar, and I use this. I record with this, and they're amazing guitars, and they've reissued these now, but there's something about handmade guitars, and you can feel the same attention to detail went into this guitar, or all his guitars, just like those the early Gibsons.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's still an art form with these guys, and but pretty clean. I mean, you can see it's been played obviously a lot. You can see his belt scratching on it, and but a great guitar. So we're here at the studio, and these are obviously tools of the trade that I keep here that we use a lot when I'm recording different artists and Bon Jovi, and for example. But so here I'll just quickly show you. There's
We saw the blue tranny.
we saw the blue one. There's actually a red one in the other room, but this is a black one. And the only other black one I've ever seen, Rusty Anderson, I believe, has one. So I had another one that I sold to get this one, and then I ended up getting that one back because it was such a great recording guitar. So love this guitar.
Killer.
That I actually found in London.
60?
59? 59, yeah. So this has the Ethridge system on it.
Brian Ray was showing me this when we were going through his...
Yeah, so I have those on a lot of my juniors and a lot of certain, even Strats I have them on, because I love these guitars, but when you play live, like with Bon Jovi or when he's playing with McCartney, you know, you can't have that hum.
On a huge stage.
So what's great about these, I have a 53 gold top that it's actually upstairs that I use on the road with the band, but we have the Ethridge system, and what's great about it is that there's a screw in here that you can adjust how much.
Like a trim pot kind
It's
of?
a trim pot, and you can adjust how much it's cutting off that ground hum. Cool. This is cool. This is like an 82. Gibson reissued the 335. They went back to the more 59 specs.
Yeah.
You know, people were like, you know, what's a smart buy is you go buy like an A80. I think they started in 81.
Yeah, right around there.
So I just got the plate, an old custom plate for this.
Custom made, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that on there. These are real PAFs.
Nice.
Old Bigsby. But look at the back of the guitar, and look who signed that. That's Keith Richards. I was playing this guitar, and he's like, "Oh, I love the sound of that guitar," and I was like, "Great, sign it."
Yeah, please.
And he goes, "Got a pen?"
Nice.
And so he signed it for me, and but I've used this guitar a lot on records because the way there's a treble bleed cap on this guitar. So when I roll my volume down, it really keeps the high end. It's
intact, yeah.
Yeah, there's a certain value of treble bleed. It's like a peak of, it's a cap that I like, that I put on humbuckers a lot. So it keeps the clarity in the chime, and this guitar actually has it. So I can get almost kind of telly-ish tones out of this guitar, and with the Bigsby, it's super fun.
What's this Jekyll Rickenbacker here? Because that looks like it's got some age.
Yeah, it's a 66. I'm a Mike Campbell fan, and I'm obviously a Petty fan, and I just love these toaster pickups, and
yeah,
it just has that sound.
Nothing else really sounds.
Yeah, the Capri up there, the
thick body, yeah.
Thick body Capri, and my 65 12-string Ricky. Those are, again, these are all just tools, and it's like having a P bass and a Ricky bass, a 4001.
Yeah,
it's McCartney. And if we go down, there's just lots of Tellys and Strats and
custom color
12.
Fender 12,
yeah.
Hockey stick. Love these.
Yeah.
This is the Stairway 12.
That is, yes, that's what Jimmy Page used on a lot. All the 12-string that people think are the SG, it's actually this. So Beck's Bolero is actually, it's a 12-string Fender.
Beach Boys, a lot of the early Carl Wilson stuff. People think it's a Rick.
It's the double neck then.
The double neck was made so that they could do it live.
Exactly.
Dude, just how many pedals?
I don't. It gets
they're
worse
every
too.
no. So this is still, we're still just in this room. There's still other.
You know what it is? I love sound.
If you had to put a number on how many stomp boxes you think you own,
I don't know. When you're producing and making records, I'm always trying to find sometimes it's like, I don't know, you start to know sound,
yeah.
And so you just go, oh, let's try, the Ernie Isley sound, which is the jet phaser, and that's that tone, and I'm obviously a big Ry Cooder fan. This is a
little Cooder caster there.
This was made at Carter Guitars in Nashville. These guys made me this guitar.
What is this? pickup
So
here.
that's a like a Ricky lap steel pickup in a gold foil, but where he places them is kind of where Rye places
That's
his.
the sweet spot.
Great slide guitar. I mean, I make no excuses.
Dude, I mean, there's so many guitars. Do you have acoustic? You have to have
I have a
acoustic
lot of
guitars
acoustics.
too.
Come on, I'll show you a
Oh,
bunch
yeah,
of
fine,
acoustics.
acoustic guitars.
Come on, let's go.
Now, here we go.
So, acoustics. So, I'm a huge fan of Gibson acoustic guitars. And probably the two that I use the most, I would say first, number one is this Hummingbird. This is from '63. Sheryl Crow's records, First Cut is the Deepest, all the Michelle Branch records, all a lot of Melissa Ethridge stuff, Fleetwood Mac. I mean, I've used this on everything, all the Bon Jovi records.
What is it? Is it just the way it sits in the mix?
It's the way
it
records. It's just the perfect for electric rock. Just Hummingbirds are great. This is a 1938 J35.
Oof, pre-war Gibsons.
Yeah, this is an amazing. Great recording guitar. I'd say these two just, if I'm doing finger picking stuff, I use that probably more. You know, what's great about these is that they're very accessible. They have that, sound, and they're affordable.
Yeah. What is that, a 512? A 512 Rosewood?
That's your department. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I know my guilds too.
So then for years I tried to find another Hummingbird that was close to the other that one, and this is a *64. It's great. It gets pretty close to that one, but slightly different. So, but I love this as well. And then Gibson at one point made a 12-string.
12-string Hummingbird.
A 12-string Hummingbird. With it. This is coming off, you can see, but that I ended up basically stealing from Michelle. Don't think you're getting it back, because you're not.
It's not coming back.
It's not coming back. Then it's just like
Banner.
Banner LG1, and I have an LG3 downstairs. This actually has a little issue right there. It needs to be fixed. But great guitar too. And then a Gallagher, which I found in Nashville. Tom Bukovac, I think, has a 12-string Gallagher, and this is a 6-string. I mean, really wide neck, beautiful sounding recording acoustic that I love as well. Yeah, so those are kind of my main acoustic guitars, and but the Gibsons are super important to me, and then there's more, obviously the Martin. But so I'm pretty covered here as far as my acoustics. But
it's not like stomp boxes, but you got a nice little fill.
When they're this great, you can be very specific, and you don't need many as long as you have the right ones.
Right on.
And here, let's see, we have, like I was saying, this is that
staple pickup.
Staple pickup, Charlie Christian, and this was Tom Bukovac's that I got refretted by Glazer in Nashville. It's an amazing guitar.
Killer. What's this Strat? That looks like it's seen.
This Strat is amazing. So I also found this in Ireland, and there's a crazy story behind this guitar, but I love this Strat. It's one of my favorite Strats, and it's on loan to me.
Really?
It's this crazy story where hopefully we can figure out a final solution to this.
Wow.
56 Strat that I love, and this is a cool.
Oh yeah, Black Beauty.
Yeah, I love this guitar. Just had this worked on recently. Worked on the frets a bit.
Yeah. All they need are frets, and then they're killer.
We just went through that and fixed up. So there you go. There's an assortment.
And more pedals.
And more pedals, yeah.
So everything in all of these rooms.
The whole studio.
All wires down to the controller.
I could play acoustic guitar in this room, and then there's a mic. There's a panel in there.
On that'll go down to the main room.
Yeah, and the drums up here, and the keyboards. Everything is wired to go to the control room downstairs.
Amazing.
That was the whole idea of the house. So
killer.
So there you go. Welcome to my world. So this is the main control room here at the studio. You can see API sidecar, Helios, EMI, Mike Pre's.
Wait. EMI mic. This is.
So this is from Abbey Road.
That's like a chant. That's like a strip
Came out of a console.
out of the console
Right.
at Abbey Road.
This came from Ocean Way. These are M69, so kind of what was in the Stones mobile truck. So when Zeppelin, Exile Main Street, those records. You know, like I can switch out the heads de jour, so to speak. So like an AC30 can go to an AC30 cabinet out there, and the Dumble goes to a Dumble cabinet.
And more guitars.
And more guitars.
So this is like the quiver shit. This is like the day-to-day.
I use these a lot. So 68 custom dot over the eye.
Still has the dot in the eye.
You basically want the long tenon, one-piece neck, one-piece body.
Yeah.
The dot over the eye. This is love this guitar. Use this guitar all the time. I love this Trini. I love the Bigsby. I love the nylon saddles. It's super microphonic, these pickups.
Yeah, just the whole guitar is a live wire.
It's a live wire. This 61 335 that I bought from Albert Molinaro back in the maybe 2000, I think I bought this guitar. And I can, I go through periods where I just use these 2 or 3 guitars.
Yeah. Is that a Blackguard?
That is a Blackguard 52.
What is the neck?
So this guitar was.
Oh my.
So this is the serial number is 1338.
So this is what, a 252?
52. But the neck is actually from an Esquire that belongs to a body that's on the road right now, and our gear just came back. But so I swapped the body. So the neck to this guitar, do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so I swapped the two. The only drag is, it's so worn down.
Plain. Yeah. All the edges have lost their.
The wood is literally just worn down.
Oh man.
But it's fine if you're recording. But
yeah.
If you're playing live, it kind of.
It's not the one.
It's not the one.
And is that Fiesta? Is that real?
That's a real P-bass 63. The Pinot, call it.
Oh, with the tortoise guard. Damn.
Yeah, that's.
Where did this come from?
I actually found that in London as well.
No.
That's how much
Well, all the Fiesta stuff, the whole Hank Marvin thing. I think that would be salmon pink, as they would call it over there.
I put flat wounds on it, and it's fantastic bass. So which is great. So when I get to record some of my favorite bass players in town, like whether it's Pino or Bob Glaub or Chris Chaney or Paul Bushnell, it's like here you go. Yeah. And so I have a couple of basses that I know, or even when Hugh McDonald from Bon Jovi comes in and plays bass, he just shows up because I have a bunch of basses that he loves, and so he just comes and we have a great time. And I have an SVT and he plays through it, and we're good to go. So there you go. All right, so this is kind of the live room, obviously down. More acoustics. J.
Marshall,
18 watt Marshall. Oh. This is actually a little mini 112 Supro Wahoo's.
Is that like the Keith? That's like the Keith Wahoo there?
This is exactly the Keith Wahoo, and this is exactly the Keith Bandmaster 59. 310. And then underneath here, if I open this up, this room in here has all the 4x12s.
Just ISO'd out.
It's ISO'd out, and there's an SVT in there. And
so like literally the house was built.
This room was.
This whole house was redone to just every single room of this house.
This room was it was dirt. It went from floor to ceiling dirt, and we cleaned this all out. And this is what led us to decide, this can work.
Wow. That's it? There's nothing else?
There's
nothing else?
There is a bit more, but
well, the touring trunks, but those are still out on the road,
Everyone's gone to bed. So.
Like pretty incredible. I want to thank you for opening up the house and the studio to us. You're blowing my mind with some of this stuff. John Shanks, thanks you guys for watching. We'll see you next time on The Collection.